So you've pressed some buttons in BlazBlue and probably had fun doing that Ragna combo I talked about. But after getting comfortable with it, you might be wondering if there are any other fighting games with equally good feeling buttons to press, a similar quality and presentation, and a great soundtrack. Well, you're in luck, because Under Night might be just what you're looking for. Although at first, even I wasn't convinced. Just like my first time with BlazBlue, Under Night is a series that I picked up at the wrong time and with the wrong characters. I wasn't in the right mindset to learn a new fighting game, and the few characters I did press buttons with didn't win me over. So I believed that this series wasn't for me, and moved on. That is until the second game was released in 2024. By that point, I had tried and enjoyed a good amount of other games, and I was willing to learn a new one, so I gave it another try. And I'm glad I did, because there's a lot to enjoy here. First up, you'll need the right character to ease you into the game and its many mechanics. There's more than 20 characters to choose from, but the one that caught my eye was this man and his mean mug. So I hopped into the combo trials and started chipping away at them. Going from one to the next, it slowly started to become clear that hitting attacks with this guy was just what I was looking for. He doesn't have anything complicated in terms of input, and he's basically all punches and kicks. But what he does have more than makes up for his simplicity. Landing attacks like his uppercut, dragon punch, and kicks all give a great sense of power. But most importantly, he's got a move so powerful with so much impact upon landing that it basically speaks for itself. Landing this move is half the fun of playing this character for me, and everything else he can do is a cherry on top. For example, every character has access to combo routes that can launch your opponent into the air, and Akatsuki's kicks allow you to do just that. If you catch your opponent low, then you can scoop them up for a ride before sending them back down. Or you can keep the train going and do this if you really want to. So, whether fighting on the ground or in the air, the combat looks and feels great. And even before fighting anyone, you'll realize movement feels very smooth in a sense that characters can quickly zip forwards or backwards, as well as quickly go into a jump or a dash. Everyone can move on a dime, especially Akatsuki, who can quickly close the distance separating you and your opponent. Positioning yourself correctly comes naturally because of how free the movement feels. Beyond basic movement, some characters also have unique options to move around the screen, and Akatsuki's no exception because he's got a double jump, which doesn't seem like much, but when you consider that, for example, you can position yourself above your opponent and bait out attacks, you start to realize the possibilities you have in approaching your opponent. Another thing you might enjoy is that every character has access to these charged button attacks. We all know hitting buttons feels good, but releasing them at the right time feels even better, in my opinion. Akatsuki has charge attacks, of course, and they're great. But as a side note, I personally found even more enjoyment using them on other characters, like Phonon with her whip, or Nanase with the sword spike. It's a small thing to integrate charged attacks into your combos, but it adds that extra pinch of fun that you can't find anywhere else. As I mentioned before, this game's soundtrack is great. Basically all battle themes get going quick and keep battles engaging. You'll face off against this sword and shield character and this lady with guns will appear, which means and this character's got headphones, so it makes sense to hear. So combat feels good, and the music sounds good, but I did also imply that this game looks as good as BlazBlue. While the character sprites and animation are definitely top notch, and the stages look fine enough, this game does personally let me down a bit with its menus and overall aesthetic, which BlazBlue did right. With a game that has characters that look like this, and this, and this, I was hoping the menus would sort of reflect that. Instead, you get a clean but ultimately boring look to everything. The previous version had a good thing going on, with a design that's more memorable and unique, so hopefully they bring this style back in a future entry or update. What we do know for sure about Under Night's future is that a new character will be released sometime this summer. So if you're not ready to jump in now, join us then when it inevitably goes on sale, and try it out. For that price you get smooth gameplay, smooth animations, smooth music, and you might just find something as amazing as